It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today I'm going to review two budget lagers from two discount supermarkets in the UK. One being from Aldi, one being from Lidl, both £1.29 per bottle, both in 500ml bottles, one in brown glass, one in green glass, one at 4.5% ABV, being the Rheinbacher Premium Pilsner from Aldi, and the Perlenbacher Pils from Lidl is 4.8% ABV, so 0.3 of a percentage point higher per ABV at the same price. The Lidl beer, it's got a screw cap. Never noticed that before. It's only while kind of looking a little bit into detail of these beers, for the review of course, that I've noticed that there's a hand top kind of cap on that on these beers. I find them quite hard though. I find them like hard on your hands, the old screw caps. There's the Aldi version, 4.5% ABV, brewed in accordance with the German purity law. Now this is key. This is really important, because I've titled this video in the thumbnail as cheap supermarket Pilsner. But because it's brewed in accordance with the German purity law, there's no rubbish in the beer. There's no added ingredients that shouldn't be in there. It's water, malt, hops and yeast. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Then one very, very quick thing. The Perlenbacher glass has got a nucleated bottom, so it might appear a little bit more carbonated. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get then. Oh, this does my head in. Oh, it's not too bad actually. Not too bad at all. You expect it to kind of dig into your hands, don't you? Right. Now, I was at a funeral recently, and some of my family members have done really rather quite well for themselves. I'll carry on with that story in a moment. 2-finger white head, good levels of carbonation, straw coloured, clear looking Pilsner. Aldi Rheinbacher. Again, very clean, crisp looking beer. Probably going to look a little bit less carbonated in this non-nucleated glass. But as long as I let you know, as long as I tell you these things, then we can kind of compare. I suppose you could look at what a nucleated glass looks like, couldn't you? There's the Perlenbacher from Lidl. They look exactly the same kind of, in terms of colour, in terms of head, exactly the same looking beers, don't they? What will happen though with a nucleated glass is that the carbonation will work through a lot quicker. It will become flatter quicker. Right, aroma then. On the, let's go with the Rheinbacher. Crisp, clean, little bit of biscuitiness coming through, little bit of wafer-like aroma, spicy, peppery. Smells pretty decent. Let's dive in. Cheers. And for me, That's good quality Pilsner for the money, for the price, for that £1.29. It's got a bit of a stinging bitterness on the back end. It's very clean, it's very crisp, it's very refreshing. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. It's got a real longing bitterness to this one. It really is kind of hanging around quite a long time, actually. Next, for the Lidl Perlenbacher. Green glass bottle. First thing I do when I look at a green glass bottle, I wonder whether the beer has a little bit of kind of skunkiness to it. It doesn't appear to have much of a kind of a skunky aroma. What happens is it gets caused by light striking the beer. The green glass lets light to hit the beer. Sunshine, supermarket, UV lights. You don't so much get them anymore, the supermarket UV lights, but it used to be a thing back in the day. And it would send the hops, instead of the hops being a little bit floral, spicy, peppery, it would make them kind of skunky and horrible. But not here. Crisp, light, peppery, spicy. A little bit of a wafer-like aroma. Let's dive into this one then. Again, really clean beer, really clean, really crisp. More of a prominent malt flavour. Definitely more of a little bit more of a kind of a prominent malt flavour coming through from the Perlenbacher from Lidl. It's not huge, it's not massive. Again, I'm hit with that kind of longing bitterness, that kind of stinging nettle, that peppery spiciness. It's definitely got that kind of Pilsner bitterness to it. And it's great beer. It's great beer. I'm going to go back to my story. Some of my family members have done okay for themselves. We were at a funeral about a month ago now, and one of my family members, some of them have got really nice Mercedes and whatnot. He talked to me about kind of run-of-the-mill beer, kind of beer just for the weekend, nothing too special, nothing too kind of like, you know, your daily drivers. That's what I'm looking for, your daily driver beers. And I told him, I said, I've drunk over 9,000 beers on this channel. And I said, you can't really go far wrong with the Rheinbacher Pilsner from Aldi and the Perlenbacher Pilsner from Lidl. They're both brewed in accordance with the German purity law. There's no rubbish in them. There's no kind of additives into the beer like you might get with some of the cheap UK kind of beers, you know, your Carlins, your Fosters. It's just super clean, crisp beer. And that's led me to this video. That's why I'm standing here today, because I thought to myself, why am I just telling one family member about this kind of bit of a secret, really? Why am I just telling the family member? Why am I not making a YouTube video about it and talking about just how good these cheap Pilsners are for £1.29 a bottle? So here I am. Here I am telling you that these beers, both of them are very good. We've got to choose a winner. This is going to be really difficult because I quite like the little bit more of a kind of like a wafer bready malt coming through on the Perlenbacher. But also I like the clean, crisp taste, slightly crispier taste of the Rheinbacher. This is going to be really, really tough. Clean, crisp, wafer-like malt, clinical, spicy, peppery, lovely Pilsner bitterness coming through. Lidl Perlenbacher. Carbonation is a little bit more aggravated, but we did mention about that kind of nucleated glass. Definitely a little bit more of a kind of a pronounced malty flavour coming through, and then a big kind of bitter hit on the back end. Maybe it's a little bit more balanced. Maybe the Perlenbacher is a little bit more balanced. I suppose this really comes down to yourself. Do you prefer a slightly more kind of slightly bready, wafer-like malty Pilsner, or do you prefer something really kind of clinical and clean and super, super refreshing? I can't give a draw, can I? I was going to give a draw. You can't give a draw. Do you know I'm going to go with a Rheinbacher? I'm going to go with a Rheinbacher. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for the Perlenbacher Pilsner from Lidl. And I'm going to give the Rheinbacher a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the Rheinbacher Pilsner. It's just a little bit more clean. It's just got that kind of slight edge in terms of how clean and crisp the beer is. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.